Hello, beautiful Aries. These are going to be your messages for the next little while. There is no time limit, really, even though it's coming out in November. The energies generally move on past the month, so past November. So if it makes no sense to you at the beginning, do yourself a favor and listen to it a few weeks from now and see if it makes more sense to you. My aim is to always give you information that will help you understand yourself better. Because once you understand yourself better, you begin to see things much more clearly. And if you are looking at videos as these, most of the time it's because you're looking to gain some clarity about something that you are contemplating or struggling with or about. So the way the information comes through to me, it's general, but it's also general in a way that can be put into any specific situation. Hopefully that's going to make sense to most of you. So where do I want to start with this? Okay, the very first thing that I was made aware of when I tuned into the Aries energy, I literally heard pumpkin seeds. And I went, okay, that's kind of random because I saw a big pumpkin. Now, these are coming out right around end of October. That's Halloween. So I get the picture that there is, you know, pumpkins everywhere, but that's not what it was about. So I tuned into it, and it was a very specific message to someone, and I don't know who you are, but you need to hear it. At least one person. Pumpkin seeds were shown in order to signify that there is something that you are needing in your body, and you are currently very low on it or lacking it. In particular, when I looked into pumpkin seeds, they're full of iron, zinc, and magnesium. So some of you may be low on these. Obviously, you'd have to check with your nutritionist or your doctor. But if you've been kind of feeling sluggish, not enough energy, you might be missing some iron. You might be low on iron. So very important. Also, pumpkin seeds, as I've read about them, are very supportive of heart health. So any of you that have had conditions with the heart, or you are predisposed to heart conditions because of your past history or your parents' history or your ancestors' history, then things like pumpkin seeds can help you keep your heart healthy for as long as you can, as it's possible. So this is a very, it's gonna land somewhere. So whoever you are, you need to hear this. Perhaps you've been kind of thinking about it. Perhaps somebody has suggested it to you the other day, or perhaps you hear this and tomorrow or 2 days later, somebody suggested to you and you go, that's interesting. This lady on YouTube said that. So when things like that happen, and they do, it is a clear indication that there is something you needing to get from that. So pumpkin seeds, for those of you who have heart conditions. Also, pumpkin seed is apparently amazing for prostate. So for males out there, or if you know a male that has challenges with prostates, looks like pumpkin seeds may do the trick. Of course, do check with your doctor. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, but this is what came out at the very beginning, and it was clear as freaking day. So I knew I had to pass it on. The other message that, so this is all health connected, physical health. The other message that I received was that you need to pay attention. I wrote, listen to what your body wants. Now, when I tuned into this message, it's interesting because it's not necessarily about food. What does your body want? But I see, whoever you are, I see you reaching to the outside for what you need and what you want, but you're not tuning into your body to tell you what it needs or what it wants. Emotionally as well, not just food wise. So that's very interesting. Listen to your body and listen to what your body wants. Also, any sort of issues with digestion, pay attention to your body around what you've been eating or what you have been doing when you get issues with digestion, because digestion is often connected to stress and other things. So, you know, if you're stressed a lot, your digestion will suffer. tired. That's just the way it is. So it's really important to pay attention to your body, not only in terms of food, but also in terms of relationships. Basically your body is an antenna. It picks up signals all over the place. Some of these signals it picks up signals all over the place. So in order for you to decipher what signal is which and what signal means, you first have to become more aware of it. If you're looking on the outside or to the outside or to the outsiders for answers, you're not listening to your body. You're listening to something or someone else. So this is about you being much more present in terms of who you are on an everyday basis. What do I mean by that? When you are sure of yourself, you automatically embody more of who you are. If you are unsure of yourself, you will have a tendency to pull away or push away from aspects of you. So this is very much about integration. I'm hoping this is going to make sense. I feel like I'm following a trail here. So listen to your body, very important. Some of you intuitive ones, your clarity in terms of your intuition is being amplified, I'm being asked to say. So if you have been feeling tired in particular, if you have been feeling very tired and very drained, it's like, oh my God, I have no energy. And you've been low on your intuition, that's because you are undergoing what I would call a reconstruction, inner reconstruction, and your body energetically is readying itself to receive more or clearer information. So as this happens, you may not, first of all, it's a lot of work for the body, energetically speaking, because it's shift. You energetically are shifting, and that requires tremendous amount of energy, and that can often make you feel very tired. So if you're feeling a little bit off lately, this will pass fairly soon, and I will say probably to end of December, it should start clearing itself off. If you haven't felt that, good for you. Most people I've talked to have been feeling that, including myself. So that's kind of FYI, which is again really important. As you're going through these moments, it's important to pay attention to your body, because your mind will tell you 10,000 different things, but your body, your feelings never lie. It's our interpretation of the feelings or what we do with the feelings that we get into trouble perhaps, but the feelings never lie. So it's important to listen to your body. Rest, I don't have to mention rest, and that rest is important, obviously, but I'm seeing someone, and it almost feels like this someone is what I would call a truck driver. So I see a gentleman, it could be a female, but I'm seeing a gentleman, and this person is standing in front of his truck and he's smoking. And I don't know if this is you or it's someone you know, but I want to say, whoever this is, you need to take better care of yourself. So again, very, very specific message, particularly if you drive long distances a lot, or you're a truck driver, or you commute on frequent basis and you are sitting a lot, and maybe you're flying around or driving around a lot for your work, and your eating habits and your lack of commitment to exercise is, I almost want to say, it's not going to help you live longer. And that's a roundabout way saying it's really poor for your health. So if you are that person, or you know someone who is, and you've been talking to them to no avail, maybe try again and say, I heard someone say this, and it was like a brick on the forehead to tell you that you need to start taking better care of yourself. And being sedentary is obviously not great, but being sedentary and having poor food habits, eating habits, and poor exercise habits, that's a really bad combination. I feel what I want to say here, coming back to the heart, there is someone who needs to hear this, because there's either family condition that has heart problems, or the person already has heart challenges. it's really important to pay attention to your health. There's some changes that need to be made. So again, specific, not gonna make sense to everybody, but if you know someone like that, please pass on the message. All right, so what is the overall theme over the next little while? And I want to say anywhere between, you know, 3 to 6 weeks. So let's say from whenever you hear it until about 6 weeks, let's say middle of December, this is what you will probably be experiencing. So the overall weather, or the overall theme, so to speak, for the next little while is this card called Dreams and Decisions. I believe in a traditional tarot deck, it's 7 of coins, but I'm not going by that. I'm purely going but what I am experiencing, what I am feeling. And the first thing I'm being drawn to, number one, first and foremost, is the number, but that's not the first thing, is the color green. That is the first thing that jumps out at me. Now, green, as most of you know, is a color, healing color. It's associated with healing. The second prominent color is blue, which is connected to our throat chakra, which is our voice box, which is our one way that we express. So what I'm getting with this card is that some of you, hopefully not too many, some of you are feeling stuck, okay? And I hear the word indecision, and it feels to me like you are, it's almost like either you're being deprived of dreams or you are depriving yourself of dreams. Now, why would anyone deprive themselves of dreams? That's a great question. Why? Well, perhaps one doesn't know how to dream, or one doesn't know what to dream about. And dream is being signified here as a metaphor for dreams. Our dreams eventually become reality as long as we pay attention to it in a specific way. So if you have been feeling, let me just see what I feel from this. I just hear lack of opportunities, lack of confidence. Oh, okay, okay, all right. So perhaps the reason why you're stuck is because not so much that there's lack of opportunities, but because you're lacking confidence in yourself to pursue other opportunities. Now that's different, because that implies opportunities are there. You are just, well, not just, you are only limiting yourself from experiencing it. So it's an interesting twist. Now, we don't get stuck in this place because it feels good. We get stuck in this place because we don't know what to do about it or how to go about it. And the one thing that will not help you move past this stuckness is you holding on to your past. So there's something here that's preventing you from moving on. And I suspect it's to do with confidence. I'm hoping this is going to keep making sense to you. Again, color green. This is emotion. So emotionally, you are still somehow stuck in your past somewhere, where something was really, really hard and you tried really, really hard to do whatever that is, but at the end of the day, it didn't work out or it failed. So there's a disappointment. I mean, we all have disappointments. That's just like how life goes, right? It's what we do with that disappointment, how we then let it filter through in everyday life. Then that's, you know, that can become a problem here. When you listen to your intuition and your heart, it will tell you how to get out of something. But the problem is, again, is if we're too much in our heads, it's hard to listen to your heart, because heart is here, head is here. Heart knows no fear. The mind knows fear. Heart only knows love, right? So whenever we're dealing with things in the past that we're having difficulty moving from, it's because it's in our heads, it's in our thoughts. And we need to find a way, or we need to be able to release those thoughts and leave them where they belong, which is in the past. So how do I want to proceed with this? When you stand alone and no one listens, it doesn't mean you're not valid. It simply means they're not interested. Very interesting metaphor. And it almost feels to me, here's how I'm going to say it. It comes to me differently. It's almost like if you've gone for interviews a few times and it didn't happen, naturally you tend to get down on yourself. Very few people don't, most people do. What this message is saying is that just because you didn't get hired, it doesn't mean that you don't have something of value to offer. It simply means that this is not the right opportunity or environment for you. So if you look at this particular example in terms of failure, then there's not much to go on forward feeling good and happy, because if every situation that works against what you want is deemed to you as a failure, and because of failure you'll never do it again, then pretty much you kind of run out of options, right? So I can see there's lack of creativity. Sometimes lack of creativity is really us not pursuing something that we really want, but are afraid to make it happen. And I'm getting this feeling in my throat, sensation in my throat, and it's connecting to my ears, that this is very much affecting, you know, what you hear and what you express. I also hear the word selective hearing. Now, I think we all have selective hearing once in a while. But if you are one of those individuals that seems to have a selective hearing where you only hear the things you want and you're not open to hearing things that are out of an area that you're familiar with or outside of your thinking, then you're not really open to anything that's new, which means you will keep on repeating the same thing over and over. What this is showing me is that this is about you stepping out of your comfort zone. For some of you, it's you literally stepping out. And I see, how can I describe this? You are literally stepping out of your comfort zone, whether it is in terms of a position, hiring position, in terms of a work environment, in terms of a relationship where you decide rules have to change. I hope you get the picture. So, what else do I see? Page of Wands, or page of Wands in reverse. You have 3 pages. Very, very interesting energy. And you have 3 of Swords, disappointment. What this is telling me, that for majority of you, this is either a work or a relationship situation. For those of you who don't know me, I don't read tarot cards, not very well. I interpret them in my own intuitive way. So if you are a card reader, by all means, interpret it the way that you would interpret, for sure. And then maybe be open to whatever suggestion that comes through from me. But what I see here, according to my sources, this disappointment or this stuckness is around current choice of career or current choice of a relationship. Okay. And in order to have a different outcome, one that is not disappointing, you have to first be really, really clear on what it is that you want. And the interesting thing is that the people I talk to, whenever I ask a question, what is it that you ultimately want? Most people have really hard time coming up with an answer. And it's kind of interesting. Like, it's really interesting. So if you hold on to disappointments in the past, and if you use those data points of disappointment as a way of you navigating through life, then you're not going to get a different outcome. Because chances are whatever you're struggling with or whatever you're stuck is a theme that has been going on for you, probably for many years, in various different ways. And I'm not talking about being momentarily unhappy with something. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being, you know, notoriously disappointed or disengaged in something that is, well, a big part of one's life. And that's generally job, could be health as well, but job and relationships. So what is the advice here? Well, you are at the end of a cycle. Your true power wants to come out. But where is this true power wanting to come out from? If it's coming from somewhere, where is it coming from? Has it been hiding? So the message is, have you been hiding? Have you been hiding a lot? Have you been hiding an aspect of you that you don't want to let out for whatever reason? And if that's the case, it is most likely that aspect of you that has been hidden that has you feeling stuck, because it needs to be expressed. It wants to be experienced. If you're a fashion designer and you love fashion, but you get a job at a computer desk because you think that's safe, I don't care how that job pays money, how much money it pays. If you are not doing truly what you desire, at least to some capacity, then the security of stable job is not going to truly satisfy you, not completely. You'll have your financial needs met, yes, which definitely absolutely helps, but there will be this other part of you that's going to feel like it's missing something. And generally when that happens, we reach for certain things like food, drugs, alcohol, shopping, gambling, you get the picture. Okay, so because you are in the cycle end or ending of a cycle, it means that you are more likely to go out of your comfort zone over the next little while. You are more likely to try new things, even if it's as little as you shifting how you look at your current situation you're stuck in and ask yourself, how is this serving me? How is this serving me? How is this serving me? Because when you really realize how it's serving you, and it absolutely does, otherwise you wouldn't do it, then once you see how it serves you, you can see it as value. When we see something as value, we are much less willing to reject it, because we usually, right? You don't want to push value away. You want to accept value. So it's important to realize that. Very, very important. Dreaming, on the other hand, is your way and an ability that you have to create your future. So if your thoughts are always going to things, I can't do this, I can't do that, this is never a work, then those are the things you will keep on communicating to the world to bring back to you. You need to have a different story. And our stories come from our past. So if you are still holding on to your past, you are holding on to your old story, which means you will keep on reliving this old story. And I know for many of you, you don't want to. You don't want to, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this. The idea of nurture is coming up, and it's very important. And notice the predominant color is red. A lot of this is obviously rooted in safety and security, but what I want to say is this. Safety and security often, well, a lot comes from how you feel about yourself. Of course, financials make a difference. People, spouses make, of course, absolutely. But if one doesn't fundamentally feel safe within themselves, there's very few things that will externally fulfill that. Generally, if it happens, it doesn't last. So there's a huge warning sign almost to make sure that you take good care of yourself, nurture yourself, give yourself give yourself the proper food, give yourself adequate nutrition, give yourself emotional expression, give yourself a way to express certain emotions, to achieve certain goals, to do things that make you happy, to get engaged, to get passionate about something, because if you're feeling like you have no choices and you're stuck, your passion probably isn't there. So how does nurture come together with passion? Well, when we take care of ourselves, we begin to feel much more whole. When we feel whole, we feel taken care of, because feeling whole means nothing is really missing. Yes, there may be some things you would like, but you're a perfect being. Nothing is missing. Now, I know some of you will say, well, I'm missing this, I'm missing this. Yes, I understand that. Those are the physical aspects. I'm saying you as a being, you're not missing anything. If you feel you're inadequate, it's not because you are necessarily inadequate. It's because you've learned to accept that for whatever reason, but it doesn't mean you are inadequate. That's just the way it is. So nurture is hugely important. Nurture is a similar idea of talking about taking care of your body, listening to your body. There's a heavy emphasis here on the body this month for you guys. So I feel like it's going to connect with quite a few people. Maybe some of you are working physical labor jobs and you need to take good care of yourself. Very, very, very important. And last but not least, what is the focus to be on? What fulfills you? Notice a lot of green again. What fulfills you? What makes you happy? What makes you excited? And if you say, I don't know, then ask yourself, when was the last time I was happy? When was the last time I was excited? And ask yourself, when I was feeling those things, what was I doing? Because it'll give you an indication of what to do in order to come back to those emotions and those feelings, how to cultivate them, how to bring them up. Everybody's idea of fulfillment is different. What may fulfill me will not fulfill you. And there's generalities where we all kind of get fulfilled from certain things. But at the end of the day, what fulfills you is something different than your friend or your spouse. And that it's okay to honor that. Because when you don't feel fulfilled and you look towards others or outside circumstances to fulfill you, we know that that doesn't last. Because if it's given to you, it's never yours, really, truly. Okay? A lot of healing here, a lot of green. Very good. Is there anything else I want to say? Make sure you know where your focus is at all times. Not easy to do, because that means we have to be aware and we have to be in the moment. And that doesn't work out very well most of the time, as I have learned. But it is important for you to start examining consciously where your focus goes on a regular basis. Because by understanding where your focus goes on a regular basis, you will understand why you are where you are. Therefore, the next logical conclusion is to shift your focus to something different. But it's not about ignoring, because that's pushing it aside. We don't want to do that. It's not about ignoring. It's not about ignoring about the fact that you are in a relationship or in a job that you don't like. Okay, give yourself permission not to like it. Why? Because that's what it is. There's no point fighting it. But make a promise to yourself to find ways to fulfill yourself, to find fulfillment, whether it's through changing jobs, changing partners, having different approach, finding something that you enjoy on the side and make it your priority, because when you take care of you, you are happy and that helps your happiness. Those are the things you must be willing to do in order to find fulfillment. But you have to first make yourself to be very important. Because if you're not important to you, you will not take care of you. So this month is all about caring for yourself. It's a little bit about being selfish, except I'm going to use a different terminology. It's about being selfless to the self or to yourself. I want to leave this with you. I hope this was helpful. I would love to see your comments if you would choose to comment. And again, if it doesn't make sense to you right away, listen to it down the road. For private sessions with me, that information is down below for you. I also have 6-month projections for the end of 2019. That link is also down below. And yes, I wish you best of luck. Take care of yourself, take care of your body and your mind, and I will see you soon. Bye.